All right, so the Raiders' search for a head coach is finally over. All the rumors are over. Finally, they have signed and hired Josh McDaniels, former offensive coordinator of the New England Patriots. He was on and off with them for a total of 14 seasons, and he won. He was a part of 6 Super Bowls, so that's definitely appealing. Like I said with the Dave Ziegler video, the new GM, it's very hard to tell if a coach is good or not because it's very, being a coach, you have to fit well. The Urban Meyer experiment is a good example of that. Urban Meyer, great coach in college, not a good coach in the NFL by any means. Josh McDaniels, great offensive coordinator at times, and so we don't know right now how good he's going to be with the Raiders. But I've heard mixed things, and the only thing that makes me skeptical right now is something that I've kind of coined as the Belichick syndrome. Most coaches that coach with Belichick over the history, historically really, have not panned out super well on other teams, i.e. Matt Patricia, Bill O'Brien, for example. These guys just don't really, gel well always. There's, some good documentaries out there I've seen about Belichick. Guys that coach with Belichick don't always pan out on other teams because they try to replicate his coaching style, which is sort of impossible to replicate because Bill Belichick is a mastermind. Definitely it's going to be a big change. Josh McDaniels, he's definitely an offensive coordinator, and I think offense is something the Raiders needed to work on this season, having a lot of games where they scored, minimal points. Mark Davis, the owner of the Raiders, seemed optimistic about this, but he definitely has poor judgment at times, so I just don't know what to necessarily believe. But of course, this hiring of Josh McDaniels was sort of obvious, following the hiring of Dave Ziegler, the general manager. So it was definitely going to be some sort of package deal that it was eventually going to be. So I think it was definitely, something we needed. We definitely needed a coach, and I think, there was some controversy. Do the Raiders keep Rich Bisaccia? I think, maybe keeping him on the coaching staff would have been smart, but I also think I don't know if he was adequate enough to go a full season with the Raiders. You got to remember, he only was for part of the season with the Raiders. We don't know how he would be in his second year. But I'm happy to change, with the change. We'll see what happens this next year. I think it's going to be a statement season, especially considering that we have Derek Carr, who's kind of on the hot seat. But in terms of, my happiness level, I'm happy we got a new coach. And I think for what I'm hearing, it's going to be a good fit for Derek Carr. In terms of what I'm hearing from other Raider fans and even Patriots fans, some people are saying it wasn't the right move. So I just don't really know what to believe. Like I said, hiring a coach is different than signing a player in the sense that there's not really statistics, to look at. Of course, he was part of 6 Super Bowls. That doesn't tell the whole story. So I think, the upside is I think Derek Carr is optimistic about it. Previously, of course, like I said, he did coach with the Patriots on and off. He was also with the St. Louis Rams for a year, and the Denver Broncos as their head coach. That was his only stint as a head coach in the NFL. That's something interesting. It didn't work out for the Broncos when he was with them, 12 years ago or whatever. But I think, the Raiders have to take risks at this point, especially considering that they're a team on the rise. And I don't think we're going to get better if we just are kind of being skittish with who we hire and whatnot. So I'm happy that we are, kind of taking a leap of faith with this guy. But I also think, I hope it works out, and I hope Mark Davis uses his judgment, because, he hired John Gruden, we all remember, and that was not a good fit. So I hope this guy, can turn our team around and make us better. Josh McDaniels, I've obviously known who he was, but I didn't really know his impact. And, I think as an offensive coordinator, he's been part of teams with really good offenses. Of course, the Patriots, 6 Super Bowls, and but you got to remember, Derek Carr is not Tom Brady by any means, so it's going to be different. But we'll see what happens. Of course, he wanted to be on the Raiders, and McDaniels did because he even said it would take a lot to get me out of New England, and it happened. So yeah. Anyways, guys, I thought I'd talk about that. Kind of made headlines today. Raiders hire new head coach Josh McDaniels alongside, of course, general manager Dave Ziegler, who they hired yesterday. So let me know your thoughts. I'll see you guys later, and go Raiders.